Hi, Dwayne. Dwayne is a naughty little boy today. He broke into the he broke in to the meat pen paddock last night and I think was starting to breed the meat sheep. It doesn't really matter, but did have a fence to fix, and he is in full-on breeding mode right now. Yes, Dwayne, you're so handsome. Oh man, he is a character. Nope, that's a boy. Oh, that's a shovel. I guess I should clean up. We just poured that concrete pad and we still have our tools out, so nope, that's an alpaca. Dwayne, you little shithead. Hi, go breed. Go be a man. Go have fun. No, I don't have any cookies. No cookies. Oh, hi, stinky boy. Yuck. Oh, hair in your eyeball. There you go. Boy, stinky. Woo. Hi, Ruckus. This is why my chores take 5 times longer than a normal person. All right, buddy. It's Coco and beautiful. Yeah, buy him dinner or something first. Jeez. Hi, folks. All right, as promised, I'm going to do my gigantic... I keep saying it's like 30 by 40 inch because it feels like it, but it's 24 by 30. So what I've done, I've spray painted with paint and primer in one, which I do a lot of my paintings because on the corners especially, I don't want the canvas color to show through. So I just do a quick spray paint on the surface. So I've also sprayed the back. I have water, I'll show you. I have water in my little spray bottle, so I just spritz the back, and it helps tighten the canvas up to where it starts sounding like a drum. Okay, I'm a little bit nervous. So I'm trying a bunch of new things today. So this color here is the Color Shift Metallic Gloss Finish Dragon Flash. So that's this one. I also added a little bit of this Tester's Metallic Sour Apple. This stuff is flipping outrageous. If you guys can find this, I recommend using it because it really, if you want like almost a coppery flash, color flash, metallic, this stuff is freaking cool. I've only found one store that carries it. I'm also using, let me make sure you're focused. I think you are. The Folk Art Metallic, or excuse me, the Color Flash Metallic Pink Flash. And then I'm also trying a brand new color. This is the Waverly Metallic. It's indoor-outdoor acrylic paint, and it is rose quartz. So the bottles I normally use, take this apple barrel, for example. It's 2 ounces. They're the same exact size. They look a little different, but this is also 2 ounces. I normally start out with a 50-50 ratio of Floetrol versus paint. This, I didn't. This is a lot. When you pour it out of the bottle, it's super, super thick. But when you start mixing the Floetrol, I didn't add as much Floetrol as I normally would. So it is outrageously beautiful, this one. It's so stinking pretty. So that's why this cup is not filled as high as the rest of them, because the Floetrol seemed to water it down really quickly. And then another thing that I'm doing, because I'm doing this huge canvas for the first time, I'm doing a lot of firsts. I also found this Deco Art Metallics bright metallic paint. This one's in the copper. It's holy cow coppery. So this one's pretty awesome. That's going to be my background color. Okay. Hang on, folks. I'm just going to look at the camera one more time because I've actually been having camera issues. Okay. So my phone, I know I've complained about it before. It's not my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Okay, so I'm doing crazy off the wall colors today. So this is a purple that is mixed with several different kinds of purple and a little bit of black to make it a little darker. And then the tester's mix is here. And then this is just a really, honestly, I went through all of my oranges, poured them in the same cup, added a little bit of yellow. There's no metallic. And then the pink, the Color Flash, this one, the Waverly, and then I just did a very basic cream color, made it myself, just mixed a cream. And then, of course, this big, humongous cup is going to be the background. I'm going to flood the background color, or flood the background with this. And then I'm going to do a 5-cup ring pour. So I've taken these paper cups. I kind of had to roll up the edge a little bit to make a spout, but I'm going to do 5. I'm going to do 1 in the middle and then 4 in the corners. So hopefully I'm going to have enough paint. I think, I don't know, I'm hoping to get about 45 ounces of paint on this sucker. So, alrighty. I've put this off long enough. And then I was at Walmart and I saw they're carrying more colors of paint now, and I decided to just try it and see how it works. So here we go. So I'm really hoping that the copper, not only is it going to hopefully show through if there's any bubbles and make some little cells, but also I kind of want to see this copper show through the rings, or the separation of the rings that I'm going to be doing. Make it look really ugly for a second. There we go. Okay. Normally I spread this out before I get on video because it's kind of time consuming and tedious. But since this is my first time doing this humongous canvas with these colors of paint, I thought I would show you before I poured it on. So I cannot tell you, I cannot get this flat. My stir stick isn't flat all the way on the edge, so it's not going flat all the way. So normally I like to tell you I do a 50-50 mix of paint, or 2/3 Floetrol, 1/3 paint. But this time, because the paints are so different, again, like one of them I did a 50-50 mix, and a couple of them I had to do, 1/4 paint to 1/4 Floetrol. So in particular, I really wanted to make sure the consistencies were as close as I could get them. Because sometimes if one's thicker or heavier bodied, you'll get sinking. They will sink to the bottom of your cup. So at least make sure your consistencies are the same. I've already noticed right away, this copper is a little bit hard to make even. Hi. I hope you can't see my hair. I just got done doing chores. It's a flipping mess. My table is not, it's just not big enough. It's not tall enough either. So, while I'm smoothing all this out, I went out to see Dwayne, our ram, and that little stinker had gotten into the meat sheet pen once again and was trying to do his little mating thing. But that little stinker is actually breaking down fences to get into them. So he really is a brat. Okay, so all I'm doing here is just trying to make it, trying to smooth it out just a little bit more. Oops. Make it a little bit more consistent. Because it's thick enough, but it's really hard to get it to spread evenly. I don't know. It's kind of a weird texture, I think. But at least if I do that, it's a lot more smooth than if I'm smoothing it out with my hands. So, all right. Okay, and then I'm going to torch the bubbles because I don't want a whole lot of bubbles in this painting. Hey. 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 This shouldn't be running out. Oh my goodness. Okay, so just do a quick torch in the cups. And gosh darn it, I have been a little congested lately. I don't know if it's just change of season or I'm not going to admit that I'm getting sick. Okay. Since I do have a lot of colors, I'm going to try to keep them. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to scooch. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, maybe scooch him all the way over. I just want to make sure you guys can kind of see this. So there might be a couple that are out of camera a little bit, but you'll get the gist. Fast forward if you want to. This is going to be a little bit time consuming because of so many cups. Try to get them all. I had to peel, since I had to peel the front up a little bit so I can make a spout. I want to make sure I'm pouring in the same direction. And I'm going to try at least for two layers. And I have no idea how these paints are going to react to each other because some of them I haven't used before. So I apologize. I've been saying I've been doing this canvas for a long time. And really, it's nothing more than, it's just a oversized 8x10. That's what I keep telling myself, is that every time I go up in canvas size, I just remind myself, it's nothing more than an 8x10. You're just using a little bit more paint. And you might get some down the front of you, which I have a feeling might happen. And these color flash paints are super, super cool. Where did that bottle go? Hold on. Or color shift, I'm sorry. This one's the pink flash. Man, he is so cool. So I'm utilizing either the color shift, the metallics, and straight no color shift or metallic paint, because I like the definition in between the colors. If you're not using all metallics, it kind of gets overwhelming. And if you're using all non-metallic paint, I don't know, sometimes I guess it can get a little bit boring, I suppose. Now, this one, unfortunately, I'm only going to be able to do one layer because it just didn't thin down like the rest of them. So, and maybe this one didn't get as much. So that Waverly paint, I'm going to give that a really honest try. It's a little bit more expensive, but Walmart carries it, and it is so darn pretty. And I'm trying not to shake the cup too much. Okay. Now back to the beginning. So the other day, my father-in-law bought me some beef jerky. Bless that man's heart. I've said this before in a previous video, that I am a total junkie when it comes to beef jerky. Or any kind of jerky. Well, forgive me. I don't mean any kind of jerky, but my friend Kelly, who is a horse fanatic, just like myself, they do a lot of jerky, and holy cannoli, it's so freaking delicious. So if there's anybody out there that wants to send me some jerky, I will try it and give you a shout out. Okay. Might actually get a third layer out of some of these. So when you get towards the end, that just means the ones you're putting in last are going to show on the it'll show on the outside of your rings if you're doing a ring pour. So the first ones that you put in theoretically are going to show up last. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It just really depends on a few things. One is consistency. If you have a thicker paint, it will sink to the bottom and you'll be like, well, hey, I put that in on the second layer. It should be coming out second to last. Well, sometimes it doesn't work out that way. But when I started, I really, really wanted that dark purple to be the focal point to come out the very last. So okay, and I'm just going to finish up this green here. So when I added the testers, it gave it a really beautiful gold sheen. So when it dries, and I've used it before in the past, when it dries, it gives just a spectacular look to it. So and of course, they have more than that one color, but I recommend it. If you guys can find the Testers paint, it's freaking beautiful. Okay, I'm going to make sure you can kind of... Oh, you can see the whole canvas. Okay. Okay, well, here goes nothing, I suppose. So I'm going to do 5 rings. Do this one smack in the middle, and I might do a little jiggle pour, straight pour, ring pour. And you will absolutely see the tail. If you don't catch that tail, you will absolutely see it when you're done pouring. Oh, it's so far away. Oh, I made him kind of ugly at the bottom. Oh well. It's just so far away. It's such a big canvas. Okay. So yeah, it may be about the same as an 8 by 10 if you think of it that way. If you have the mentality that yes, okay, it's an 8 by 10. Don't get too overworked or worked up about the fact that yeah, it's a huge canvas. So just put it in your head that, you know, you just need a little bit more paint, and especially you're going to need a little more room, obviously. Whew, okay. Alrighty. Make sure I pour it the same. When you're looking in your cup, try to make sure that you're pouring kind of the same way that you've poured them in, because the colors, you want to have them even on both sides, or else I've noticed that it tends to get really muddy. That's why I'm holding the cup sideways now, because I noticed I was holding it a little bit cattywampus. Okay. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to stretch. I really hope I'm going to have enough paint on here. And also, folks, I'm going to be doing, I had my peacock pour, the last peacock inspired pour. I just ordered the decals for that, and it's actually a really pretty, like, elegant looking black peacock decal. So I'm going to be putting that on as soon as it comes in from Vinyl Disorder. It should be here, I think it said tomorrow. Okay. Here we go. Oh, flip, it's heavy. So, it's flipping heavy. So another reason why I prepped the canvas, because I don't like to lose my rings around the outside. If I have some really pretty rings, they tend to roll over on themselves if you don't have a really good base coat on your background. So if you have a good base coat, they tend to roll or they tend to slide more than they tend to roll. He's rolling just a little. Oh yeah, he's rolling a whole lot. Back towards center. And I am going to go all the way over the corner with him, because he was already making a point that looked like it was already wanting to go towards the corner. So, all right. And I don't have the most healthy back ever, so this is not the easiest thing I've done thus far. Actually, I think I'm going to go over a little bit that corner, because the paint's looking like it wants to go that way. All right. And I'm going to touch up the corners with, I'm just going to dab it with my finger a little bit. Okay, you are getting a little crazy. Slow down. Okay. Good golly. Okay, that's all my back is gonna let me do. So I'm gonna move it, kind of get the paint back to center a little bit. And I'm gonna leave it just for a second. And then I'm gonna dab the corners. Oh. And I'll babysit this too for a little while because I know things are gonna change. And there on this canvas there is a piece of wood that goes straight towards the middle, so it does support it a little bit. And especially since I added or sprayed the water on the back, that helps tremendously. So if you have a larger canvas, I would highly recommend spraying the back of it with water. And you don't wipe it off, you just let it sit for maybe a minute or two. Here's kind of another tip, folks. So another reason why I did the copper, because if you do a painting and you put a white background, a lot of people flood the white and then they put a bunch of color on top of that. What happens is the white will actually come up when you pop the bubbles and you'll have all these white spots. I did that on purpose on one of mine. It was a few videos back. That it was, I think it was like blue, pink, dark blue, purple. And I did that on purpose. And you can see it looks like a galaxy in the middle. So those little spots came up white. But if you don't want those white spots, use a background color that's going to complement. That's why I did the copper. Because if the copper comes up and makes cells, it's going to look great. It's not going to have those big white spots that people complain about sometimes. So keep that in mind. All right, folks, hang on. I'm going to bring you in. All right. So it's beautiful. I really love it so far. Again, it's brand new, but hold on tight. I'm actually going to turn the flash on and bring you back. Okay, so I just turned the flash on, and that copper line right there, I love it. Look at how sparkly that is. That is unbelievable. Very freaking cool. And then here you can see where that tester's paint, it really adds a lot of shimmer and gloss and shine and sheen. And that's going to look awesome. But I also did add paint that does not have pigment in it because I think it's just too overwhelming for your eye. If you put a lot of pigment in all of your paints, you need to break it up a little bit, like that white line. So wow, that copper is so dang pretty. So, and there's some bubbles that pop, so made just a little cells, gives it a little added character. But I'm I'm happy. It was actually harder than I really thought it was going to be because all that weight on the canvas, if you have a sore back or neck, it's very, very difficult to manipulate. So I found. But thank you to my awesome darling husband for buying this canvas, who I've actually had it stashed in the pump house for, I don't know, a month. I have another one too. So now that I've done it, I know how much paint I need, and I will absolutely show you guys the dried product. So comment below, let me know what you want to see, and also if you want to see any more farm life videos, I'm going to do those too. So if you want to see anything in particular, let me know. Anyway, hope you enjoy, and you will see me soon. Never be afraid to be a beginner, folks. Till next time.